Why are you scared? Don't be scared.
Okay.
Do you want me to hold your hands?
No.
Okay.
No, that's what she's scared of.
Oh, guys, technically we're live. We're just
Okay.
waiting for a few seconds
Bonsoir.
for everyone to come in. We've got 7 viewers. We're fine. We're going with
17.
This is beautiful.
You
All
said,
right,
are we doing
everybody.
this in French or English?
Tu peux le faire en français si toi tu veux, mais il y a Martine qui va le faire en anglais.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't talk about me in French.
Guys, okay, let me just begin this properly. Hi everyone, we're in Baku, we're in the paddock. I have the worst two people to have on a Facebook Live with ever.
What do you mean?
Let me introduce you to highly professional, extremely qualified trainers or coach for both our drivers. Rupert works with Carlos.
Hello.
Martin is responsible for Nico in all
Hello.
manners of ways.
That's a slightly different introduction.
Legally, we're not allowed to go into, actually.
But Martin, you have been on Facebook with us before, and
have had the
our
pleasure.
fans know
Yes.
who you are. It's
Yes.
absolutely
I've
fine.
had the,
So
I've
you know
had the
exactly
privilege.
what you get up
Yeah.
to. But there you go. So we're gonna get through the next 10 minutes
Let's do it, come on.
with as much dignity as possible. So let's start at the beginning. Actually, easiest question ever. How did you guys get the respective jobs? You know, how do you end up training athletes or drivers in a Formula One paddock, taking them around the world, making sure they're in top shape to drive a Formula One car?
Well, Nico hounded me for 8 to 10 years. Emails, text messages, phone calls. Eventually I gave in and said, all right mate, let's do it. That's it. You?
Is that it? I hounded Carlos, and I still haven't really got the job. Actually, I don't get paid. I just
It's an official role.
I just turn up.
It's a road
unwanted.
trainer.
No, I started, all seriousness, I started working in endurance racing, 24-hour racing, and then off the back of that, I came into contact with a company called Hintsa, who provide a lot of the trainers and physios for Formula One, apart from Martin. Obviously, Martin's a special case, which
Yeah.
I'm sure we might go into in many ways. And then I was put in contact with Carlos through them, and it was love at first sight.
You've been together a few years, haven't you?
We've been together
Oh, yeah.
3 years.
Sorry.
Yeah.
3 years. 3 years.
3 years.
This is actually genuinely.
En français,
a highly-
someone's asking.
I know we're gonna. Do you know what? We're gonna do a Facebook Live with probably Cyril at some point, and I'll promise you I will do it most of it in French, and we'll just have to say sorry to the English speakers. But this one's going to be in English. Yeah. So you're actually from a very genuinely very serious, very scientific company that does this job very well.
She's looking
Yeah.
at you again, not me.
Why are you laughing when you say that?
I know. I never realised.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. We do take this. We take this very seriously, actually. Yeah.
There is a lot of science actually, and I mean, aside from this particular moment, which is joyous and full of happiness, but do you enjoy your jobs? You know, what does it intake? There is a lot of travel. Those are long hours, and you are dedicated to getting one person, not yourself, in a tip-top shape. But yeah,
Yeah, for me, since working with Nico, the best part of it is really focusing on one driver, because my roles before him were managing other trainers and their drivers, so I had fingers in different pies with different drivers. So it's been really nice over the last couple of years to really sort of go in depth with Nico, and now we know each other's routines really well, and each race, I kind of think of it as this, maybe it's the same for you, it's this huge long list of things that I have to remember that we do together to help him prepare, to help him get in the right sort of frame of mind every time he gets in the car. And each race, the list gets a little bit longer, because I think of a couple of extra things that we should try, or he suggests a couple of things. And it just gets longer and longer, so it's really good just going into more and more depth with him, and we see some of that translate into sort of good, consistent performances on track. So yeah, it's a small part of what he does on the track, but it's an important part, and I think all the drivers value it and know they need to prepare in the right way. And yeah, that's what I like about it the most is the level of depth just with one person. It's really good.
Yeah. No, I think that's spot on. Martin's exactly right. For me, I think growing up as a child, I loved sport, but I was never good enough to compete in it. In any sport,
Yeah,
actually.
same.
This is like the
So
next
now
best
this-
thing.
yeah.
This is like the buzz of competition, and I just wanted to learn as much as possible about things, the elements that will help your performance in sport, and race racing I particularly love. And I think, Martin's exactly right about all those different elements that can affect your performance. Is going to that level of detail, which you can do in Formula One. When I worked in endurance racing you cover sort of 3 to 6 drivers, so you're a bit more reactive.
Yeah.
Whereas I think we
That's right.
find that once you build that great relationship with your driver, and it can be quite intense at times, But you get to know them quite well, and you see ways that you can make improvements, and that's a really satisfying thing.
Nice one. What about away from races? We've got someone that's just completed their 5th London Marathon. He really likes to talk about it.
That's me, not I've just run 2 laps of the track. Rupert here thinks he's
I was just boasting about the fact I'd run 2 laps of the track.
And he just track in a buggy this morning. I am boasting about that.
Martin slips in there. I ran the marathon on Sunday. I was like,
yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned that to anyone enough times, but yeah, I'll
there
continue to do so. Yeah. Hello everyone. I did run the marathon,
and he's still collecting.
No, I smashed the marathon. I believe it's the correct term.
Oh, you smashed it. You smashed it. Okay. You described it as a gentle jog, which I was really annoyed at. Level of fitness that high.
Patronising, isn't he?
Oh God. What about you, Rupert? What do you get up to in your spare time? And please tell me it's not running the track.
I do enjoy running the track, actually. It's a good thing to do on a Thursday. I like to do all sorts of training. I'm quite into sort of more strength training, so stuff in the gym, CrossFit, circuit training, those sorts of things. So quite a mixture, really. Never really excelled in any one discipline, as I kind of alluded to earlier. An all-rounder, yeah. A strong all-rounder, absolutely. So yeah.
Nice one. Both very, very fitness orientated.
Yeah.
Nothing
Try and
to do
practice what we preach, don't we, Martin?
Try.
Fair enough. Okay, we've talked about them a little bit, but you two are the 2 best placed to get into this. So, straight up, what are Nico and Carlos's worst habits? Come on, give us the dirt.
You mean other than not listening to what we tell them?
Yeah, all the romantic stuff we spoke about earlier is
it's rubbish.
in one ear out the other.
Habits.
I know they're terrible passengers, as in the car.
Yeah.
Well, I've given. Yeah.
I've actually crashed Carlos's car back home twice, so it's understandable he doesn't let me drive.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that means you're not driving my car now.
No. Yeah.
There's a lot of bad habits.
I think the singing is...
I was going to say the singing, actually.
Yeah,
I was
the
wondering
singing
if
is a thing. Yeah.
But he thinks he's quite a good singer.
Yeah.
How can I put it?
He's going to kill us.
Yeah. He's better at driving a car than he is at singing. Let's just say that. I can probably get away with that. Yeah.
I think we should arrange a Facebook live karaoke
Absolutely.
session.
That would be great.
We'll work on that.
That'd be good.
Okay, fair enough. You don't want to dish too much dirt. Let's talk about food. It's a subject that's close to my heart, as everyone knows, especially cake. But what's I talk about it a lot. Let's talk about nutrition for both your respective drivers. What would be on the menu this week? What are we talking about?
This is a really good question, and it's really important. But my answer is so boring because the most important thing for us is consistency. Because we know what works, we know what doesn't work. So the racetrack, you'll probably agree, the racetrack's not the right time to experiment with new things because you never know how it's going to affect their energy levels in the car, that sort of thing. So we've got probably half a dozen dishes for lunch or dinner that we have at the track that really work for Nico, and unfortunately I have to eat healthily as well.
I was going to say, what's on your menu? Does it differ?
Well, it's usually whatever's on my plate does also belong to him as well. So if I was sitting there eating something unhealthy, he'd just steal it off me anyway. Yeah. So it has to be really consistent. It's quite plain, it's quite basic. We both know the type of things that work for our drivers and how they need to get their energy from food. So it's really just make sure the timings are right, making sure it's consistent. It has to be a little bit enjoyable. So they do have occasional treats and whatnot. Otherwise, it's a very long season if they're never having any treats. They're both experienced drivers, so it's a balance as well. It's nutrition can be something that can affect your mood and make you happy. So although they can't eat junk food, they do have to be sensible, especially over the race weekends. There is still a mini argument for having a treat occasionally. That sounds like Nico's rubbing off on me. I sound like
I've heard this said before. I've heard him say this before.
Exactly. Yeah.
What about you, Rupert?
I agree with a lot of those things, and we've tried to. Carlos is quite keen to improve his nutrition, and we've tried to use science. And sorry,
it's just that's going to make noise in the microphone.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fiddling. Sorry. We've tried to use research and science where possible to improve his nutrition, but I think, like Martin said, it is a balancing act. Over the course of the weekend, it's also quite stressful. Also, the time
tuning,
slots,
isn't it? Because you probably already established what
Exactly.
you have like a long time ago, and now it's just fine tuning things
Exactly.
for different situations.
Exactly, yeah, and I think Carlos is quite a He likes to think he's got quite a sophisticated palate.
A passerby
Being
is
Spanish,
laughing-
I know
laughing
exactly, just
at
laughing
Rupert.
at us, you know,
Yeah.
which is it's very rude actually. Sorry, excuse everyone back home.
Sorry,
But so he can be a little bit fussy at times.
Yeah.
I think we definitely differ. I think he looks at some of the things I eat as an English person who's probably a bit more unfussy, and he just doesn't understand it. So I might have like
fish finger
Marmite and
sandwiches.
toast, fish finger sandwiches, or I don't know, or something quite healthy like vegetables for breakfast, and he thinks that's crazy, you know, because the Spanish are quite traditional and you know, like to think they have quite a refined palate. So yeah, but it's that balancing act. But no, he's pretty good in sticking to a decent schedule.
It all goes towards helping him.
Exactly, yeah,
Performing
and he
hard.
appreciates that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure Nico's the same.
Fair enough. Actually, so you've answered that question, but nuancey, we do travel around the world. We do have access to amazing cultures, you know, around the world, including amazing food. Is there any room for trying something perhaps away from the drivers? Do you two try something new and local from time to time, or you just have to toe the line? You're admitting it in front of quite a few people, so
126.
yeah, but there'll be a lot more that see it later, believe me.
You can answer that, Rupert.
What was the question, sorry?
Do you eat in secret?
Am I a secret eater? No. I don't think so.
You're proud. You're proud. Proudly
In our hotel, there is a car made of chocolate. There's a Formula 1 car
Oh
made
my
of
God,
chocolate
yeah.
in the hotel room.
in the hotel room, which
Yeah,
is
and how much of it's still intact?
mine's had a fairly big shunt.
Big shunt.
I've lost 3 wheels at the moment. I'm not sure it's going to make it back to the pits, so I might have to eat the whole thing. But yeah, well, we sometimes we'll have. I think once a week we'll have like a cheat meal. We'll go out and we'll have we tend to have a burger.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
That tends to be our
Yeah,
cheat
yeah,
meal
yeah.
as a team. Yeah.
That's
Sundays.
good.
That's what Sunday nights are for.
Sunday nights is,
serious
yeah.
answer, unfortunately.
Burger
That's
time.
what Sunday
Exactly.
nights are for.
We're on.
Sorry, we're
We have
live.
a lot of people walking past and everyone wants to say hello. You
It's 'cause we're so
Rachel,
popular,
come on in,
everyone.
come and say hello. You fine?
Us too.
Okay,
Okay.
We're in demand.
we are in demand. Okay, we've got a couple more questions and then they'll be free. This is an important one. You have to consider this one. I'm actually going to read it properly. Who would win in a tag team wrestling match? Nico and Martin or Carlos and Rupert?
I'd like to see
We've got
that.
a height advantage.
I think
so
there's
our
only-
grapple's definitely got.
I think there's only you said what was it was
Yeah, so
tug of war.
Nico and Martin. No, tag team wrestling match.
Oh, tag team wrestling. Sorry. That's a good question. Well, there's only one way to find out. Where's
It's
Nico?
on.
Nico can't walk past me without punching me or trying to tackle me or something like that. So
Yeah,
I think
Carlos
he's got that
is-
bit of aggression that you need.
Absolutely.
You know?
If Carlos is bored enough, he likes to fight. So yeah, I think that could be. If he's in the right mood, I think he could be quite vicious. Actually.
This feels like we should be wrestling, not hurting each other.
So, he'll bite you
Well,
out. He'll bite you out.
There's got to be an element of aggression, surely.
Oh, I think we need to find out.
Okay.
Right, well, we're going to do this properly then. We did football on the beach at the end of last year.
We
you
won.
know, with all 4 of you.
Yeah, you
Well,
There's
Probably did.
a big lack of skill all round. Yeah. We don't talk about
There was
that.
one
We don't
Spanish
talk about
person. He was quite good. Though. The rest
Yeah.
of us were very
The rest
good.
of us were like really shitty.
oh dear. All right, final question. We are asking all our guests this one, so the fans know what we're about to ask. It's a very important question. You can think about it. Pizza. You're having a pizza.
Yeah.
Any pizza you want.
Okay.
Do you have sauce to dip the pizza in it?
All right.
And if you do, what sauce is it?
Last time you asked me about pineapple.
I know.
I
This,
kind
we
of
have
got,
to
I kind of
close.
got mixed reviews about my comments. So,
So this is the 2018 version.
like a crust, or I'm a crust dipper for sure. I'm proud. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
Crust
Pizza.
dipper.
I'll eat my
Crust dipper.
pineapple pizza because pineapple on pizza is a good thing.
Okay.
And then I'll dip my crust in some sauce.
I go with that garlic herb for me. I like that sort of.
Domino's
Sort of vibe, yeah.
Pizza,
It's a bit
other
plain
pizza
before.
Carlos
providers
wouldn't
are
like that,
available.
but yeah, I like that.
No,
I like
he's
it.
already answered that question. He
Oh,
made
was
his
he?
views very clear.
Oh, was he? Yeah, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
there's no sauce
Like I said, the
involved.
Spanish are very clear on their food habits. So yeah.
Excellent. That's it. That's all I had. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And we'll speak to you in
Au
the
revoir.
next race. Bye.